Can you see her? She's there. There's my partridge. Awful picture, sorry about that. I had to zoom in because I didn't want to disturb her. Anyway, the idea was, as the road was shut, that I'd have a little walk along the river and film it as I go along. This is just an overview of the river running through the valley. Follows the line of the trees there that you can see. And we'll just walk basically down to the left and then back right to left. There's a beautiful oak tree there. There used to be a cottage under that tree many years ago. Anyway, off we go, and we're in the bottom corner of the field, and this is a ditch that we cleaned out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm eyeing this area up as an ideal spot to put a rail trap. Rail traps are a bit controversial, but they are very, very effective, and I want to get on top of the squirrels here. Before I do that, I've got moles. I need a man with a bun to come and volunteer to help me sort that out at some point. Probably not for a little while. Anyway, there's the river. We'll just walk along. This field's called moors, and it's scattered with springs underneath it that have been drained over the years. This is a pipe that we replaced a couple of weeks ago, and it's running fairly well considering how dry it's been. We're now going to head into the far corner, and because the river's running quite low, I can cross the river here quite easily. I call it a river because it's actually the River Ven, but it is effectively a stream, and you can see how low the water levels are there. In all the years I've known this river, it was quite a big deal when we saw a kingfisher or a dipper here, and we used to get the odd heron visit. We've now got 3 herons constantly arguing over this little bit of water that's down here, and the result is that it's become pretty lifeless down here, to be honest. There's not a fish to be seen. Always used to be able to see minnows running around down there, swimming around under the water obviously. This is called the island here, and it's a very boggy bit of ground, which we quite like, having a boggy bit of ground there. You can see the rivers there. Quite often we've got an otter now that comes up through. Unheard of 30 years ago. No otters on this river 30 years ago, but regularly there is one knocking around here now, which probably also explains why there's so little life left in there. You can see that the cattle have made a bit of a mess here. They've been coming down, obviously they use it to drink, and we've done a little bit of fence in there, which has got to be finished off. It's a really a great joyous thing to have a river running this close, to have the water there, and during the winter months it flows a lot faster than this, clearly. And this is another boggy area here with a lovely little pool, which always used to have, you could always see fish there. There used to be some trout there, and also there used to be some minnows to be seen. I'm no fish expert. I could do with somebody like Richard Hardy really coming here and telling me what we can do to make this a little bit better. There are a lot of drains, field drains, that run into this river, which is fine, and you can see that here where we've done some repair work, the old cast iron pipe that was there on the end of the land drain had actually completely clogged up with tree roots. The tree roots grow through the drains and block them up. Incredible structure of roots in that old pipe that we've had to replace. Anyway, there's a little tree creeper. I love those little birds. Goodness me, don't they go at some speed up and down the trees. And this is this corner here we always know as Dipper Corner, for obvious reasons, which will become clear any second now, because there used to be a sheep dip here, and when I was a kid we used to go down there to dip the sheep right beside the river. Probably not good from a pollution point of view, but it was quite handy to fill the dip. And yeah, organophosphate sheep dip, great stuff. Used to bath in it. We'd do the sheep, all the sheep, and then the dogs, the farm dogs, used to go in straight afterwards, and we'd be soaked in it. There's the old dip, filled in now, not been used for more than 25 years. But as I say, we used to fill it up out of the river, get a bucket there, and we'd have a chain gang to fill it up. There's a couple of little drains there and a bigger one. Great spot for catching mink, that used to be years ago. Those little thin drains, that's actually BT Telecom duct there. Those little thin 2-inch drains, we call them gollies, and there's 2 of them there taking 2 different springs away. and there we go. The water's running a little bit quicker there, but there isn't a lot of it. Bit of firewood for me to collect at some point, I suppose. And then we're on into the corner of the field there that I know as Holly Poole. Obviously there's a holly tree hangs right over that pool, and it always used to be one of the places where you could nearly always see fish. Anyway, I'll just pause there and let you see that the water is crystal clear. The river's a lot cleaner than it used to be. We used to have quite a dodgy farmer about a mile upstream from here, and the river was constantly polluted, but there's no pollution there now. It's lovely and crystal clear, and there is quite a lot of wildlife there. I just wish there was a little bit more in terms of marine life there, I suppose. As I say, I'm no expert. This is an old ford here. Used to be two fields. There used to be a hedge coming down left to right to where we're looking now, that came out about 86, I would think. A little tiny 1.5 acre field there was on the corner, and as we go up through, there's our little ford that we used to cross the river now to get across to the moors, as we call them. And yet another new drain, and this one, it's not really a new drain, it's some old drains we found, and we ended up putting a 6-inch pipe there, and we put a solid pipe in so we could drive over it without fear of crushing the land drain underneath. And there we go, our river. Hope you enjoyed that. Boring as usual, I suppose, but good fun for me. Anyway, I'll be off. Thanks for watching.